What is a spiritual awakening? Well, to different people, I mean, that can mean many different things, right? Maybe you've just come to a point in your life where you've decided you want to be a little bit more spiritual. Maybe you've been off doing things that don't seem really in resonance with who you truly are. They just don't feel right. You're awakening to that, and you want to walk a more spiritual path. That is one way to define a spiritual awakening. The other way to define a spiritual awakening is what happened to me in my experiences, where I was just sitting out in my backyard listening to music, and I had this transcendence experience where I popped out of my body. Now, I don't use drugs. I've never used drugs, never smoked pot, none of that stuff. So I know some of you may be thinking, well, what's he on? Nothing. Okay. I've never used any of those types of substances. This was a moment in my life, my experience, where something greater came into my awareness, a remembrance of who we truly are, greater multidimensional beings, pure consciousness, pure energy. Now, that's another way to define a spiritual awakening. Now, on my channel, I give you tools and tips and guide you through the pitfalls of the ascension process and things you may encounter, and show you how to navigate your way through that. Now, I want to bring something more into my content moving forward. So make sure you watch this entire video, hit that subscribe button, and be on the lookout for future videos, because it's going to get kind of crazy. Okay. I've had many multidimensional crazy experiences. People that when they hear these experiences, their first thought would be, well, what are you smoking? You must be on drugs, right? I've talked about some of them in my videos, and I'm going to start bringing them forward more. I'm going to start bringing forward more of my guides, more of my communication with my guides. I want to show you, or have you experience through me, some of the things that are possible in this reality. You see, we're so clamped down to a 3D linear type of thinking that we close ourselves off to our multidimensional energy. And we really literally turn away from absolute amazing experiences. Now, when I was sitting in my backyard that day, I wasn't sitting there looking for anything crazy or wonderful or miraculous. It just happened. And that's how it works. When you're ready to pop, when you're ready to open up and remember who you truly are, it will happen. It's not a process that can be forced. You can't force it. You could do the work. You could start to navigate down that stream of expanding consciousness. But when you are truly ready is when it's going to happen. It's not an on-off switch type of a thing. It's I hit a frequency, off I go. What can lead to those experiences? Well, it could be life changes. It could be just certain things that make you don't feel so good. Maybe you get to the point where you just don't feel like you could go on. Things are collapsing around you. That can lead to that type of an experience. Again, this is all planned by your higher self. This is all moved and orchestrated by your higher self. Things that were planned before you came into this incarnation, into this body. We're just here to experience it. So we let it flow. And when it happens, it happens. If you're moving along the spiritual path, haven't had that kind of an awakening, that is okay. You are taking steps to prepare for an event, and you were likely guided to me or to others, whoever you follow or subscribe to do just that, to prepare you, to get you ready, to get you in a frame of mind where you could start to accept a greater reality. Okay. And sometimes, again, experiences show us that we have nowhere else to turn other than inward. So we do that, even though we haven't really gotten in touch with our higher self or our spiritual guidance, but that will come. So continue walking that path. I'm going to start to bring forward more of my experiences, more of my guides' communication. I'm going to explain to you how this guy back here was so influential in my awakening and in my journey, and bring some of those stories forward. Just amazing, crazy stuff. Why do I want to do this? Well, because we're so locked again in that 3D box that we've turned away from our multidimensionalness, our amazingness, the miraculous energetic beings who we are. We've turned away from it. We're living in a paradigm that isn't real. I am going to bring experiences forward that are literally going to open up a doorway to allow you to start to experience that for yourself when you're ready. So I want you to move forward with me in my channel. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button and listen and watch with an open mind. These are authentic experiences that have happened to me. They're very, very real, more real than a lot of the other stuff that I experience in my day-to-day life, especially now at the frequency that I am at. So those experiences are far more real to me. I had a lot of that kind of stuff happening when my parents were sick before they both passed. And they showed me that what we're experiencing really isn't real. There is so much more to it. And that's what I talk about. That's what I mean when I talk about a spiritual awakening. If you guys are ready to step into that craziness, into that awesomeness, into a reality that will blow your mind, again, hit that subscribe button. Things are going to get really, really wild. If you know anyone that would be interested in going along with this journey, feel free to share this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get it out to as many people as possible. I don't see a whole lot of spiritual teachers online talking about their actual multidimensional experiences. There's a lot of value out there in terms of what to do, how to do it, how to get through dark night of the soul, things like that. But I'm going to start to bring forward more of my experiences, which again, are going to open the doorway for you. It's going to expand your consciousness, expand your mind to start to understand what is really possible for you. And that energy is going to start moving through you, and you're going to start to experience some amazing, amazing things. So thank you so much for listening.